Hey everyone, welcome back to Stoic Talks. Today's topic might just knock your socks off. You might be thinking, wait, what if I don't keep them close or constantly try to get their attention? Won't they just drift away? What if someone else catches their eye? Well, folks, that's where the Stoic magic comes in. Stick with me closely because this is the video that's going to flip the script on your relationship life. Let's dive right into it. Whether you're trying to spark something new, dealing with a partner who's giving you the cold shoulder, or navigating a friendship that's feeling distant, trying to convince someone to stay feels like grabbing onto sand. It just slips through your fingers no matter how hard you try to hold on. It never works the way you want. That's what happens when you try too hard to keep someone's attention. Take two situations. Maybe you're trying to attract someone new and you're doing everything to impress them, like a magician trying to wow an audience. Sure, it works for a moment, but when the tricks stop, so does their attention. Or maybe the spark in your relationship has dimmed and you're trying to rekindle it. The more you push, the more forced it feels, and the more distant they become. So forget about chasing or convincing. Think of yourself as a stoic magnet. Instead of running after someone, build your own strength and calmness. When you're steady and confident in yourself, people will naturally be drawn to you. You won't need to work for their attention. They'll feel your energy and come closer because they want to, not because you're trying to convince them. Now, before we dive deeper, let's affirm our commitment to this change. As our Stoic friend once said, "What you think, you become." Repeat after me. I am a Stoic magnet. Declare it loud, my friends. Go ahead and drop it in the comments and let them find out that you are no longer dancing to their tunes. You are a Stoic magnet, and now they will be the ones drawn toward you. Let's go. Music. So folks, I'm about to give you an 8-step Stoic recipe to completely flip the script on your relationship life. Trust me, you just need these 8 steps to become that Stoic magnet, the kind of person who draws others in effortlessly without chasing or convincing. But before we dive into these strategies, we need to understand the basic principle that ties all of this together. Controlling your thoughts. Yes, my friends, this is the core of Stoicism. You see, when you don't have control over your thoughts and actions, you become desperate for their attention, their validation. You start chasing after them like a dog chasing its tail, running in circles but never getting anywhere. This is where we make the biggest mistakes in relationships. We think that if we keep pushing, keep convincing, they'll finally turn around and see our worth. But the truth, the harder you chase, the faster they run. As Epictetus once said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Your thoughts are your true power. When you let them run wild, fixated on getting someone's approval, you lose control of yourself. You stop living your life for you and start living it for someone else's attention. That's not being a Stoic magnet. That's being a puppet on strings. So here's what we need to do. Stop giving them the control over how you feel, what you think, and how you act. The moment you shift that focus back to yourself, you start to glow differently. You start walking through life with a sense of peace and purpose. And guess what? That's when people start noticing. They become drawn to you, not because you're trying to pull them in, but because your confidence and calm are irresistible. That's what being a Stoic magnet is all about. Think about it. When you're calm, centered, and in control of your thoughts, you become like a rock in a river. The water flows around you, but you remain steady, unshaken. You're not chasing attention. You're simply being, and others naturally gravitate toward that energy. This is the mindset that will carry you through every relationship, whether it's sparking something new, reigniting a fading flame, or navigating tough times with a friend. So before we get into the 8 strategies that will turn you into a Stoic magnet, I need your full focus here. This is the foundation, the key to everything. Master your thoughts, and you'll master your relationships. Stop letting their reactions control you. Control yourself, and everything else will fall into place. Stay with me now, because we're about to dive into the steps that will change everything. And if you still haven't declared that affirmation in the comments, now's the time to do it. As our wise Stoic friend Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." So go ahead and quickly say it out in the comments. I am a Stoic magnet. Let this guide you toward the confidence, calm, and strength we've been talking about. Well, with that level of confidence, let's dive in. Step 1. Let go of fear. So folks, the first and most powerful ingredient of our Stoic recipe to craft a Stoic magnet is letting go of fear. This one is huge, and once you add it into your personality, everything changes. When fear controls you, you're no longer in charge of your actions. You become desperate, chasing after people, seeking their approval, and doing whatever it takes to keep them in your life. But let me tell you, fear is the exact thing that makes them drift away. Imagine this. You're trying to attract someone new. You start feeling anxious, worried that they might not like you back. So you start overthinking every move, texting them more, constantly trying to impress, bending over backward to make them stay interested. At this point, you're not showing them your true self. You're showing them the version of you that's controlled by fear. And guess what? People can sense that desperation a mile away. It's like trying to hold on to a bar of soap. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips out of your hands. But what happens when you let go of that fear? When you stop caring about whether or not they're into you, suddenly you become relaxed, confident, and in control. You stop chasing, and as a result, people start being naturally drawn to you. Letting go of fear turns you into a Stoic magnet. You no longer rely on anyone else to make you feel complete. You're complete on your own. And that energy is incredibly attractive. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Easier said than done, right? Of course, fear is a tough thing to shake. But here's the truth. Fear lives in your mind, and like all thoughts, you can control it. Epictetus once said, "Men are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." In other words, it's not the situation that causes fear, but how you perceive it. So how do you actually let go of fear? It starts with recognizing when fear creeps in. The next time you catch yourself feeling anxious about losing someone or trying to convince someone to stay in your life, pause. Ask yourself, what am I so afraid of? Most of the time, it's the fear of rejection, fear of being alone, or fear of not being enough. But remember, these fears are imagined. They exist only in your mind, and they don't have to control you. Let's look at a relationship example. Suppose you're in a situation where your partner seems distant. Your first instinct might be to double down, try harder, convince them to stay, shower them with attention. But all of that comes from fear. What if, instead, you let go of the fear of losing them? What if you decided to focus on your own growth and well-being rather than obsessing over their approval? Suddenly, you're not chasing anymore. You're showing them that you're confident and secure in yourself, and that, my friends, is magnetic. Fear creates neediness. Letting go of fear creates confidence. Think of it like walking into a room. The person who walks in with their head held high, calm and at ease, draws attention. The one who fidgets nervously, scanning the room for approval, doesn't. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence, and that confidence only comes when you've let go of the fear of rejection or failure. Now, let's add a bit of humor here. Imagine you're at a party, and someone's frantically running around trying to make everyone like them. They're cracking jokes, refilling drinks, making sure everyone's happy. It's exhausting just watching them, right? Now think about the person sitting comfortably, laughing, having a good time without any effort. That's the person everyone gravitates toward, not because they're trying to win anyone over, but because they don't need to. That's the key to letting go of fear. You stop needing their validation. You stop needing their approval. And guess what? When you don't need them, that's when they start wanting to be around you. It's ironic, but the less you need someone, the more attractive you become. Now, how do you incorporate this into your life? Start small. The next time you feel yourself overthinking, worrying about someone's opinion, pause. Remind yourself that their approval does not define your worth. It's just a thought. You don't have to act on it. Take a deep breath and let it go. If it feels difficult, that's okay. Growth isn't supposed to be easy. Every time you catch yourself slipping into fear and decide to let it go, you're building your mental muscle. It's like working out. Each rep makes you stronger over time. Letting go of fear becomes second nature, and you'll start to notice how much lighter and more confident you feel. In the end, as the Stoics say, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Most of the things you fear won't even happen. The worst-case scenarios you play out in your head rarely come true, so why waste your energy worrying about them? Letting go of fear is the most powerful thing you can do to become a Stoic magnet. It frees you from the need to convince anyone of your worth. Instead, you simply live your life confidently, knowing that those who truly value you will be drawn to you. So, my friends, let's wrap this up with a powerful affirmation. Close your eyes and repeat after me. I am a Stoic magnet. Say it with conviction. Let go of the fear that's been holding you back and declare it to the universe. I am a Stoic magnet. You don't chase, you attract. The right people will come into your life because they see your strength, confidence, and calm. Let the universe know that you've let go of fear, and now it's time for the world to come to you. And if up to this point you have any questions, or maybe a different perspective, feel free to drop them in the comments. Let's discuss it together, and if everything is crystal clear and this video has brought value to you, go ahead and crush that like button. Let me know that you really appreciate this content. Ready to dive deeper? Let's go, my Stoic magnets, as the real jam of our Stoic recipe is about to begin. Step 2. Visualize success. All right, my Stoic magnets, it's time to dive into the second powerful ingredient in our recipe, visualize success. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Visualizing success, that sounds a bit too easy, right? But trust me, this step is absolutely crucial if you want to become a Stoic magnet. So, why is visualizing success such a big deal? Let's break it down. Imagine for a second that you're going into a situation where you want to attract someone's attention. Maybe it's a first date. Maybe it's a casual chat with someone you're interested in. Or maybe it's even reconnecting with a partner who's become distant. Now, what's the first thing that often happens? Doubt. You start thinking, what if this doesn't go well? What if they're not into me? What if I say the wrong thing? Before you even step into the situation, you're already playing out the worst-case scenario in your mind. Here's the thing, What you think, you become. That's not just motivational talk, it's rooted in Stoic philosophy. Epictetus said, "We are what we repeatedly think." If you keep visualizing failure or rejection, guess what? You're setting yourself up to act out of fear and insecurity, and that energy pushes people away. But what if we flip the script? What if, instead of imagining all the ways things could go wrong, you start visualizing everything going right? You imagine yourself walking into that room or that conversation with confidence, speaking clearly, and being your best self. You see them smiling, engaging, and enjoying your company. Visualizing success isn't just about feeling good, it sets the tone for how you enact. Your mind and body follow the path your thoughts set. Imagine this: you're about to meet someone new. Instead of focusing on what might go wrong, close your eyes and picture everything going perfectly. You walk in with your head held high, you're relaxed, you're at ease, and you're your authentic self. You see the conversation flowing naturally, both of you laughing and connecting. The atmosphere is light, fun, and enjoyable. You walk away feeling great, knowing that you showed up as the best version of yourself. Now, I know this might sound too good to be true, but visualizing success prepares your mind for that reality. You're more likely to act confidently, more likely to handle the situation with ease, and less likely to be shaken by minor setbacks. It's like you've already lived it in your head, so when the real thing happens, you're ready for it. But let's keep it real. It's not always easy, right? Sometimes visualizing success can feel like you're lying to yourself, especially if you're used to thinking negatively or doubting yourself. That's totally normal. So how do you get past that? How do you make visualization work for you when it feels difficult? Here's the trick. Start small. If you're not ready to visualize the entire situation going perfectly, focus on just one small part. Maybe it's how you'll feel when you walk into the room with confidence. Or maybe it's imagining the sound of laughter when the conversation is going well. Visualize those tiny victories first and build from there. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. You're training your brain to expect success rather than failure. And here's where things get really cool. The universe responds to the energy you put out. When you visualize success, you start to emit confidence. You stop chasing approval, stop trying too hard to impress, and instead, you start pulling people in with your calm and confident energy. That's exactly what being a Stoic magnet is all about. Think about the last time you met someone who was confident but not arrogant, just calm, cool, and collected. They didn't need to boast or overdo it, and yet everyone wanted to be around them. That's what happens when you visualize success and embody it. You're no longer seeking validation from others because you've already validated yourself in your mind. You've seen it, you've felt it, and now you're living it. Let me give you a fun example. Picture a sports team before a big game. They don't sit around imagining themselves losing, right? No. They visualize making the winning play, scoring the goal, lifting the trophy. Why? Because by visualizing success, they prime themselves to act in ways that make that success happen. The same principle applies to your relationships. When you see yourself succeeding in your mind, you're more likely to act in ways that lead to success in real life. Now, let's get a bit stoic with this. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Visualizing success is about elevating the quality of your thoughts so that your actions follow suit. When you keep your mind focused on positive outcomes, your emotions stabilize and you stop reacting from a place of fear or desperation. Instead, You act from a place of calm confidence, and that's magnetic. So how do you incorporate this into your daily life? Make visualization part of your routine. Before a big meeting, a date, or even just a casual conversation with someone you care about, take a few minutes to close your eyes and see it going well. Picture every detail, feel the emotions you want to experience, and breathe into that confidence. If it feels difficult at first, don't stress. Just like with anything, practice makes progress. Start small, maybe visualizing how you'll feel calm and collected. And over time, you'll get better at seeing the whole picture of success. The more you do it, the more you train your brain to expect success, and the more natural it becomes. Finally, let's end with an affirmation that will lock in this mindset. Repeat after me. I am a Stoic magnet. Say it with confidence. Visualize yourself as that calm, magnetic force that draws people in effortlessly. Declare it loud and let the universe know that you're no longer doubting yourself. You see your success, you feel it, and you're ready to live it. Now, go ahead and drop that affirmation in the comments if you have not already. I am a Stoic magnet. Let's make it real. Let's make it happen. And let's dive deeper into the next steps of our journey, as the next steps are even more empowering, and you really need those ingredients in your Stoic recipe. Step 3. Do your best and let go. So, my Stoic friends, now that we've let go of fear and started walking the path of a Stoic magnet, it's time for another key ingredient in our recipe. Do your best and let go. This is where you stop stressing over things beyond your control and start embracing what you can do with full effort without getting hung up on the outcome. Imagine you're in a relationship, or maybe you're trying to attract someone new. You're doing everything you can to impress them, showing your best self, being thoughtful, giving it your all. But here's the problem. Once you start obsessing over whether they'll like you back, you enter dangerous territory. It's like baking a cake and sitting there watching it in the oven, constantly opening the door, afraid it won't rise. You're doing everything you can, but you can't control the cake once it's in the oven, and guess what? All that worry ruins the process. That's why the key is to do your best and then let go. Seneca once said, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectation, which depends on tomorrow and wastes today." You've put in the work, you've shown up, and you've done everything in your power. Now, you have to release your grip on the outcome. The outcome is out of your control. No amount of worrying or convincing will change it. You've already done your best. The moment you let go of needing a specific result, you create space for things to naturally happen. This is where the real power of being a Stoic magnet comes in. Imagine you're trying to reignite a fading spark in your relationship. You've planned a special date. You're making an effort to connect again. But here's the catch. The more you try to force it, the less natural it feels. The more you're invested in making sure it goes perfectly, the more pressure there is, and it ends up pushing them further away. Instead, focus on doing your best. Plan the date, be present, show up as the best version of yourself. But once you've done that, let go of trying to control their reaction. You can't control how they feel, but you can control how you handle yourself. This doesn't mean you stop caring or that you slack off. On the contrary, Stoicism is about showing up and giving your full effort in everything you do. You do your best because that's what you can control, but then instead of stressing about the outcome, you trust the process and let go of the need for everything to go your way. Think about it like planting a seed. You can water it, give it sunlight, and take care of it, but you can't force it to grow. It will grow in its own time, at its own pace. The same applies to relationships, friendships, or any area of life. Do everything you can to nurture it, but then step back and let it be. When you start embracing this mindset, you'll notice a shift. People will sense that you're calm, confident, and not trying to control everything. You're no longer grasping at straws, hoping for things to work out. Instead, you're at peace, knowing that you've done your best, and that kind of energy, it's magnetic. People are drawn to those who aren't desperately trying to control every detail of their lives. You become more attractive simply because you're not stressing about what happens next. Now, how do you incorporate this into your life? Start by reminding yourself daily, I can control my actions, but not the outcome. When you catch yourself worrying about whether someone will text you back, whether the date will go well, or whether they'll like you, pause and say, I've done my best, and I'm letting go. Focus on the process, not the result. It might feel difficult at first because we're wired to care about the outcomes. But here's the beauty of Stoicism. When you master the art of letting go after doing your best, you find peace. You realize that stressing over the outcome won't change it. It only robs you of the present moment. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your strength comes from knowing that your best is enough, and you don't need to control what happens after. Let go of needing things to turn out perfectly, and you'll discover a new kind of freedom. Let's end with our affirmation. Repeat after me. I do my best, and I let go. Say it with confidence. Declare it loud. Drop it in the comments if you can. Let the world know that you're no longer a slave to outcomes. You're a stoic magnet, doing your best and trusting that everything will fall into place exactly as it should. Now, let's move forward with this mindset, ready to conquer whatever comes our way. Step 4. Value your time. Now, folks, the fourth powerful ingredient in our Stoic magnet recipe is simple but incredibly important. Value your time. If you don't value your time, why should anyone else? Your time is the most precious resource you have, and once it's spent, you can never get it back. So why waste it on people who don't see your worth? Imagine this. You're constantly texting someone, waiting on their reply, rearranging your schedule just to be available for them, or even worse, sitting around hoping they'll notice you. That's not valuing your time. That's giving your time away to someone who isn't respecting it. What if instead you spent that time on yourself, on your growth, your passions? You become a stoic magnet by showing people that your time is precious and you won't waste it chasing anyone. Here's a fun example. Think of your time like a VIP ticket to an exclusive show. You wouldn't just hand that out to anyone, right? Only the people who truly deserve it get in. When you start treating your time like it's VIP, others will start seeing it that way too. Marcus Aurelius said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Don't spend your life waiting on someone else. Live now. Invest your time wisely, and people will notice the shift. When you're not constantly available, people start to realize that they need to work to be part of your life. So how do you value your time? Set boundaries. Don't drop everything for someone who only gives you half their attention. Focus on activities that bring you joy, growth, and fulfillment. If someone truly wants to be in your life, they'll respect your time and make an effort to earn it. If it feels difficult to set those boundaries at first, remember this is about respecting yourself. You can't be a stoic magnet if you're always available at the snap of a finger. People are drawn to those who value their own time and aren't afraid to say no when necessary. So let's affirm this. I value my time. Say it with me. my Stoic magnets. I value my time. And as you go forward, watch how the world starts respecting that time too. Step 5. Embrace detachment. All right, folks, the next key ingredient in our Stoic magnet recipe is a game changer. Embrace detachment. Now, this doesn't mean you stop caring about people or situations. It means you stop depending on them for your happiness. The moment you detach from outcomes and let go of needing things to go a certain way, you become incredibly powerful. Think about it. When you're obsessed with someone's attention or outcome, you're tied to it emotionally. You feel stressed, anxious, and desperate to make things happen. Imagine constantly checking your phone for their message, waiting for that validation. Exhausting, right? That's not attractive. That's chasing. Now, what if instead of stressing about their response, you detached? You're not cold or indifferent. You're just not dependent on their reaction for your peace of mind. Here's an easy example. Imagine you're planting a seed. You give it water, sunlight, and care, but after that, you have to let nature take its course. You can't sit there stressing every moment about whether it'll grow. You trust the process, and you let it be. That's detachment. You've done your part, and now you let go of the outcome. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." When you embrace detachment, you stop trying to control everything, and suddenly you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster. People are naturally drawn to those who don't need constant validation. You become a Stoic magnet because your sense of peace and confidence isn't tied to anyone or anything outside of yourself. How do you start embracing detachment? Focus on the process, not the outcome. Do your best in every situation, and then let go. If they like you, great. If they don't, you're still awesome. It's that simple. So let's affirm this together. I embrace detachment. Say it loud, my Stoic magnets, and let the universe know you're not chasing, you're attracting. I embrace detachment. Watch how people come closer when you let go of needing them. Step 6. Practice gratitude. All right, folks, the 6th ingredient in our Stoic magnet recipe is one that's often overlooked but holds incredible power. Practice gratitude. You might be wondering, how does gratitude make me more attractive? Well, let me tell you, gratitude is a game changer. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you radiate positivity, and that kind of energy pulls people in like a magnet. Think about it. Nobody wants to be around someone who's always complaining about what's missing in their life. It's like sitting next to someone at a party who only talks about how bad the music is. But when you practice gratitude, you're like the person who's enjoying the moment, appreciating the company, the vibe, and making others feel good. That energy is infectious. Imagine this. You're trying to attract someone, but instead of focusing on whether they're paying attention to you, you start appreciating the people already in your life, the moments of joy you've experienced, and the opportunities you have. Suddenly, you're not seeking validation from them because you're already filled with gratitude for the good things around you. And that's when they notice you. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." When you live in gratitude, you're content in the present. You stop worrying about what might happen or who might leave. You live with an abundance mindset, and that abundance is magnetic. How do you incorporate gratitude into your life? Start small. Each day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how simple they are. Over time, you'll notice how much your mindset shifts. You'll feel more content, more at peace, and more in tune with the positive energy around you. If it feels tough at first, don't worry. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Now let's affirm this together. I live in gratitude. Say it loud, my Stoic magnets. I live in gratitude. And as you do, watch how life and the people around you start to gravitate toward that positive energy. Step 7. Keep your emotions in check. All right, folks, now we're diving into a crucial ingredient of our Stoic magnet recipe. Keep your emotions in check. This one's a game changer. If you let your emotions run wild, you lose control, and people can sense that instability. But when you keep your emotions balanced, you project strength, calm, and confidence, qualities that draw people toward you like a magnet. Let's be real. Relationships can trigger all kinds of emotions: jealousy, frustration, anxiety. Maybe you've sent a message and haven't gotten a reply, and suddenly you're spiraling, imagining all the worst-case scenarios. Or you feel angry because someone isn't giving you the attention you think you deserve. These emotional reactions, while normal, don't help you. In fact, they push people away. Now imagine this. Instead of reacting, you pause. You feel the emotions rising, but instead of letting them control you, you take a breath, acknowledge the feeling, and then let it pass. That's the Stoic way. You become the calm in the storm, and people are drawn to that emotional stability. As Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." When you have the bravery to keep your emotions in check, you gain freedom. Freedom from being tossed around by every little thing that happens. You become a rock, unshaken by life's ups and downs. How do you incorporate this in real life? Practice mindfulness. The next time you feel that emotional wave building, pause before you react. Ask yourself, is this emotion worth my peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. Over time, this habit of pausing and reflecting helps you gain control over your emotional responses. If it feels difficult, that's okay. Emotional control takes practice, but the more you do it, the stronger you become. Remember, people are attracted to those who can handle their emotions with grace. Let's affirm this together. I control my emotions. Say it loud, my Stoic magnets. I control my emotions. When you master this, you're not just attracting people, you're commanding respect. Final step, let it all sink in. All right, my Stoic magnets, we've gone through all the powerful steps, and now we reach the final step. Let it all sink in. This is where everything we've talked about comes together, where the real magic happens. You've got the tools, the strategies, and the mindset. Now it's time to own it. Imagine you've been cooking up a recipe all day, adding each ingredient carefully. You don't rush to serve it before it's ready, right? You let it sit, let the flavors develop. This is the same. Becoming a Stoic magnet isn't an overnight transformation. It takes time, but trust me, when you let everything sink in, that's when people will start to notice you. Stop chasing, stop convincing, and people are naturally drawn to your calm, confident energy. As Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. Just like a beautiful tree takes time to grow, so does your journey to becoming a Stoic magnet. You've done the work, letting go of fear, valuing your time, mastering your thoughts. Now let it settle into your daily life. You might be thinking, what if I slip up? What if I find myself going back to old habits? That's okay. We're human. The key is to recognize when you're slipping, then gently bring yourself back to the principles you've learned. Each time you do, you're reinforcing those Stoic habits. So how do you let it all sink in? Be patient with yourself. You've planted the seeds of confidence, self-worth, and emotional control. Now allow them to grow. Every day remind yourself of the steps you've taken and trust the process. With time, you'll notice a shift, not only in how others respond to you, but in how you feel about yourself. Let's finish with a final affirmation. I am a Stoic magnet. Say it with confidence. Declare it loud. Let it sink in and let the universe respond. You've done the work, now enjoy the results. Keep shining, my Stoic magnets. So, this was our video for today, a powerful recipe to transform yourself into a Stoic magnet. If this lesson resonated with you, please like this video and drop a keep it up in the comments to let me know you made it to the end and that I wasn't just talking to the wind. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.